There's a moment, and if you've ever bonded with an animal, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where you look at them and realize they've completely changed your life. Not a little, not in some small, forgettable way. Completely. That moment hit me the first time I took Atlas outside on a leash and watched him climb a rock by the water like he'd been doing it his whole life. He hadn't, but you'd never know it. Atlas is a Bengal cat, and before you say anything, yes, I know what people say about Bengals. Too wild, too unpredictable, too much cat for most people to handle. I'd heard it all before I adopted him, and honestly, some of it's true. He knocked over my coffee maker in the first 48 hours. He figured out how to open the bathroom cabinet within a week. He once sat on my laptop and somehow unsubscribed me from 3 email lists I actually wanted to stay on. He is a lot, but here's what nobody told me about Bengals. If you give them the right outlet, if you actually meet them where they are instead of trying to squeeze them into a quiet, indoor-only life, something extraordinary happens. They become your best travel partner. It started small, a walk around the block with a harness I wasn't sure he'd tolerate. He tolerated it just fine, better than fine. He owned that sidewalk. Head high, tail up, those gold and black rosette markings catching the afternoon sun like he was some kind of miniature leopard on patrol. The neighbors stared. I didn't blame them. One woman actually stopped her car to roll down the window and ask if that was a real leopard. Atlas looked at her like the question wasn't worth answering. He's like that. If you're already the kind of person who thinks cats deserve more than 4 walls, you already know where this is going. Hit that subscribe button because Atlas has a lot more story left to tell. If you're not sure yet, keep watching. He'll convince you. Within 2 weeks, we were doing longer walks, parks, trails. He'd ride in his carrier in the truck, right there in the front seat, watching the road ahead with those sharp blue-green eyes like he was co-piloting. And the second we'd pull up somewhere new, his whole body would shift, alert, ready, ears forward. Let's go. The boat was my idea, or at least I thought it was. Looking back, I think Atlas had been planning it all along. He'd been watching the water every time we drove past the marina. I noticed, I just hadn't admitted what it meant. The first time I brought him aboard, I was honestly nervous. Water everywhere, easy for a cat to bolt. But I clipped his leash to the harness, the bright pink one he wears on the water, and set him down on the deck. And he just stood there, looking out at the open water. The wind moving through his fur, the sound of the engine idling beneath him. He didn't flinch. He sat down, squared his shoulders, and stared at the horizon like a captain who'd been waiting on a long overdue crew. I have video of that moment. Every time I watch it, I get emotional, which I'll absolutely deny if you bring it up. The forest trips came later, and those hit different. There's no other way to say it. The woods changed something between us. There's something almost surreal about watching a Bengal cat move through dense woods. He doesn't tiptoe, he doesn't hesitate. He picks his way across fallen logs like the terrain was designed specifically for him. Low to the ground, deliberate, that long tail counterbalancing every step. In those moments, he doesn't look like a pet. He looks like exactly what he is, a descendant of wild cats who somehow ended up wearing a collar and tolerating my road trip playlists.
I always keep a close eye on him outside. Leash on, always. Not because he's unpredictable, but because the world is, and he is my responsibility. That's not up for debate, no matter how capable he looks scrambling over a mossy log in the middle of nowhere. But watching him in those moments, really watching him, I started to understand something I don't think I'd fully appreciated before. He wasn't just tolerating the outdoor life, he was thriving in it. People ask me all the time, isn't it dangerous to take a cat outside like that? And I want to give them a simple answer, I do, but the honest answer is, it depends. It depends on the cat, on how you train them, how you read their body language, how much time you've put into building trust before you ever clip that leash and step out the door. Atlas didn't become an adventure cat overnight. It took months of slow, patient work, starting indoors with the harness, then the doorstep, then the driveway, then the world. There are real risks. Other animals, traffic. A spooked cat on a leash can be unpredictable. I take that seriously every time we go out. But there are also real costs to keeping a high-energy cat like Atlas in a purely indoor environment. Boredom, frustration, behavioral issues that look like aggression but are really just a wild animal asking for more than four walls can offer. I'm not saying every cat should be an outdoor cat. I'm saying every cat deserves to have their actual needs met. For Atlas, this is what that looks like. We were out on the water last weekend, late afternoon, the light going golden across the surface, Atlas sitting at the bow of the boat in that completely unbothered way he has. Denim bandana around his neck, not a care in the world. I took a picture. I always take a picture. And I thought about how different his life could have looked, how different my life could have looked if I'd listened to everyone who said a Bengal was too much, too wild, too hard. Instead, I have a cat who has seen more sunsets from a boat than most people I know. Instead, I have this. He's asleep right now, for what it's worth, curled up in the back seat of the truck, the harness still on, completely passed out after 3 hours in the woods, completely at peace the way only animals can after a good day outside. I keep a mental log of every place we've been together. The rocky shoreline where he discovered saltwater and stood there for 20 minutes, nose working overtime. The forest trail where he froze mid-step because a woodpecker was hammering in the canopy above us. The boat ramp where a golden retriever lost its mind spotting him, and Atlas just watched the chaos like someone who has never once been impressed by anything. These are the moments I keep, the ones I'd trade nothing for. He'll wake up when we get home, he'll eat, he'll watch the yard for 45 minutes like it owes him money, and sometime around midnight he'll claim my pillow, a battle I gave up weeks ago. And tomorrow, if the weather holds, we'll do it all again. So here's what I want to know from you. Do you think cats like Atlas are better off with access to the outdoors, or is the risk just not worth it? Drop your answer in the comments. I read every single one, and honestly, this one might start a pretty good debate.